Alright guys, in this video we're continuing our topic of parabolas and quadratic functions here in 2.1. We're going to open it on up though, and our goal in this particular video is going to be how to take some information from a function and turn that into what the standard form of the equation actually is going to be. So let's take a look. The parabola has a vertex at 1, 2, and it passes through the point 0, 0. Our goal is to take this information and put it into the standard form of the equation for our parabola. Well, first and foremost, remember correctly, our standard form for our equation of our parabola states that f of x is equal to a for that leading coefficient times x minus h squared plus k, as long as a is not equal to 0. Alright, so that's what our goal is. Well, let's think about this for a sec. I've been given the vertex, so that means I already know what h is, and I already know what k is, in fact. And so the fact that they give us a point 0, 0, what does that mean? Well, that means it goes to the point 0, 0. That means that gives us one x and one f of x value that we can utilize. So it says, hey, there is a point at 0, 0, in which we are trying to find what a actually is when it's all said and done. Well, now let's do some work. Let's go ahead and find out what that value for a ends up being on in the end. So 0 ends up being negative 1 squared is 1, so that's a plus 2, and then in the end a equals negative 2. So that is a, that is our leading coefficient. So our standard form looks like f of x is equal to negative 2 times x minus 1 squared plus 2. Now throwing back on in our vertex x and y coordinates. Okay, so going ahead and using some information of the parabola. Now, as we wrap up this section here, guys, let's talk here for a sec just about the vertex of the parabola itself. Now, let's say, for instance, our goal is to find out what that vertex is, and maybe we don't want to go ahead and to always have to go and put it into the standard form of the equation. Well, it's kind of similarly how we talked about the little cheat for our completing the square. I guess it's kind of a cheat in a sense for the vertex as well too. In a parabola in which we have our specific ax squared plus bx plus c in position, it is always and forever going to be true that the x-coordinate of that vertex is negative b over 2a. The opposite of b divided by 2 times that leading coefficient. The y value then, of course, can be found by substituting that x-coordinate into our f of x. And that's where we get f of negative b over 2a. All right. So, as we kind of wrap some things on up here, the vertex shows 2 parts to the graph of a quadratic formula, right? It shows 2 parts to the graph of a quadratic function. One, it shows the axis of symmetry at x equals h, and the what? What does it show? I challenge you to pause that video for a sec and see if you can go ahead and fill in these. Well, hopefully you also can understand that that vertex gives us the max or min values for the parabola itself. And that's going to lead us on into the last little part of this section, in which we're going to start diving into some mathematical modeling. So I want you guys to give this one a shot on your own, okay? So we have a basic kind of application-based question, thinking about what shows the max and min values of a parabola. Give this one a shot on your own, and we're on to the next one.